What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to replace an LCD on an Ipod 6th generation 80 gigabyte. Now this will work, same steps for a 5th, 6th, or 7th gen Ipod Classic. Let's get started. Okay, so we take our spudger. We just need to get in between the front and the rear case and start prying out to release the clips. Yeah, this one is difficult. There we go. Yep. Whew, finally. That was a doozy. Okay, so instinctively, once you get the case off, your first reflex might be to just open this up like a book. You don't want to do that. Battery cable's running right through here. You do that, you could rip the battery cable, you could pull the battery connector right off the motherboard. Next thing you might instinctively want to do is just grab on this battery cable right here and pull it off. Don't do that either. Same thing could happen. You can rip the battery connector right off of the motherboard. Come on, zoom. Okay, so what you want to do is take your spudger, hold down on the battery connector, take a pair of tweezers, and then pull up on the battery cable. Boom. So we want to lay the hard drive out. There's a black cable or a black lever right here. You just want to pull up on it with your nail. And that comes out. Dislodge this aux port cable. So we can come in here like this. Or really, you can just gently take your nail and pry up on that here cable. This one right here. So now that it's back, you can take the cable, pull it out. Over here. Actually, we'll leave this here to collect our screws. Okay. Next thing we want to do is release the latch for the LCD, which is right here. You can just stick your nail in there a little bit, pull up on it, pull the cable out. Next we need to remove our 6 screws. There are 3 on each side, here, here, and here, and the same on the next side. Okay, all screws out. So now you want to press down on the clip with your thumbs while pulling up with your fingers. So just like this. And that's in there. There you go. Little adhesive coming off the board, no big deal. Okay, now we already undid the LCD clip, so now we can just take that out. We will reserve this little metal piece underneath. Okay, we have our LCD. Okay, set it right back in. These two tabs here go right in the tabs here and here, or the slots there and there. Oops, sorry, there and there. Okay. Okay, so before I put the whole thing back together, I'm just going to put in 2 screws. One in the top right, one in the bottom left. And then we're going to test and make sure this thing actually works before we put it all the way back together. Okay. We just insert our ribbon cable. Use our thumbs to push down on this lever. Being ever so careful not to break it. I've broken many of these and it always sucks. Okay, so we don't need everything else plugged back in to test the LCD. Now we can just plug this in and it should give us a menu that says, oh hey, there's no hard drive attached, but it should still give us video. There it is. Working LCD. So let's get her put back together. Okay, first thing we want to do is we want to connect this aux port back together. Actually, no, I lied. The first thing we want to do is put the screws back in. Hey. Screws are back in, so now we can do that aux port. So we just want to take our cable. Sorry if my hand's in the way, kinda. The light's not good. I'm trying to get it as best as I can. We want to just insert it back into this auxiliary port here. There it is, and then we just flip the cable latch back over. Okay. And the next, we want to raise the battery connector back up. To do that, we take our spudger, hold down on the white part, take our paperclip tool here, and then slightly pry up on the battery connector. There you go. We will put our hard drive back in. Just insert the cable and then pry the black latch back down. Flip it back over. Insert it back down inside the iPod's cavity. Take our battery. Put the end in the connector, and then apply pressure down on the clip to secure it. And we have a working LCD. So before we close up the case, I always like to just get into the iPod and make sure everything works still. Because you never know when you might accidentally hit something or screw something up, what have you. So I'm gonna grab some headphones real quick and make sure this is working. I have left and right headphones. Pause works, next works, previous works, menu works, Hold switch works. And let's make sure that the charge icon is recognized. Ipod is charging. So the very last thing that I like to do before closing the case up, anytime that you open an Ipod case, you're bending the outside of it out. And we want to try to close that back in so it doesn't look like the Ipod has been opened. So what I like to do is just take the case and then just use my fingers and just try to bend it in. And then we just press down. There we go. And then, just to be thorough, I like to check one more time just to make sure everything is in fact working. Center button works. Left and right headphones working. Pause play works. Next works. Previous works. And menu works. And the hold switch works. All right, that'll about do it.